to another weekly analysis of the key financial markets. This update is brought to you by K5 Trading. My name is Shamsul Arefin and I'm Chief Market Strategist at K5 Trading. Shortly, we will present our view on the key financial instrument. But before we start, let's read the disclaimer as required by the regulators. The trading any financial market is involve high level of the risk and may not be suitable for everyone. The analysis we present in this video is our view, and by no means it is a recommendation of buying or selling or anything else, and it's only purely presented for educational purpose. For any buying or selling decision, please consult your own financial advisor. We do not provide any financial advice. K5 Trading is not responsible for any losses incurred. Contents are copyrighted and the property of the K5 Trading. With the disclaimer out of the way, let's start what we're going to see today. We're going to see today the gold, S&P 500, oil, BTC, and Euro USD. We will start our analysis, market analysis, with the with the gold futures. And what we can see on the gold future from weekly point of view is last week was very strong move for the gold, and it was a very bullish market. Actually did close quite high, and is actually closed on the upper knot of the market. So we can see that's the strong bullishness in the market may continue for coming weeks, but in a short term we can expect kind of a little bit retrace for the on the daily basis. The reason why we say on the daily basis is we can expect a kind of a retrace, because as you can see, let me remove this support zone up here, we don't need it right now. You can see after the strong days on Thursday, on Friday market could not make anything higher, and even on the before the Thursday you can see that's the previous 4 or 5 days or 3 days market was a kind of a trading range kind of scenario, and then it's break out, and now again it's coming into the kind of a range, and it's key at the key resistance level as it starts selling off. We can also see that the volume is significant on yesterday's trading or on the Friday's trading. So we can expect that market should come down a little bit to retest before it can go up. But if we look at the situation in our Cloundra, in our in our system on the MT4, which we do use extensively, the situation is a little bit different. That's our gold on the daily time frame, right? And on the 4 hour time frame, I'm expecting market to actually stay here a little bit for a while before it can go up. But on the 15 minutes time frame, this is very interesting, because on the 15 minutes I can see that I need an upper noble semaphore around here. So after making that noble semaphore, we can expect that the market will stay a little bit sideways and then might come down. The reason why it needs to come down is because quite hyper extended from our moving averages and from our mean revergence, so it needs to come down. So this is not the time to enter into the market for the bullish. We need to wait for the pullback before we can enter into the gold market. Let's have a look onto the 4 hour time frame, what it represents, so we can assess what's going to happen tomorrow or next week, or from the Monday. You can see that after reaching the top of the market, we got some shortening of thrust, and there's a high volume activity with the low volume. So sorry, quite ease of movement with the low volume, that's what I mean, sorry. And then we have a kind of a testing happening. Test actually failed, volume is low, and then market come down. So, and then we can see this bar, it's got high volume, but it's got some selling here and here and here. So small narrow range path, this one compare with that one suggests that the market is being absorbed by buying and the selling. So I expect market to stay in this range for some time before it can come down. That was our gold point gold, and now let's come back to the oil. Oil, when we look at from the weekly point of view, the yesterday or last week was a bearish week for the oil. Oil did try to break the previous week high and then close down inside of this range and make a new low than the previous week's low. The market still didn't close quite in the low side. It's a little bit off, so I can see some buying is coming up here, and I can also see lots of sellers coming up here on the weekly basis. What I'm expecting market on the oil point of view, that's it needs to come down a little bit more and retest around here in this area. Let's have a look into the daily time frame. Right, on daily time frame we can see a clear and spring up here is forming a small spring, and but market could not break the previous high, and also the closing is slightly off the high, so I'm expecting it's trying to push upside, and if it doesn't, then it will retest in this area. But definitely it's going to retest this area because this is where we got a spring and with the on a high volume, so expect a retest around here. Let's have a look into our trading system point of view, how this oil is working. So XTI USD.A. Okay, so this is our oil on the daily time frame. We can see that's a trend line breaks. Trend line breaks mean that's our target is somewhere around $83 or $84, and this is where we need a lower yellow semaphore. Right now what I can see that's it's highly likely market can go up a little bit and then it's come down, or it can go into the sideways range. So if it's into the sideways range, that will be a sign that market wanna come down. If it goes upside and doesn't break the previous high and make that's another strong sign that market needs to come down, and it will come down to achieve this target on the daily time frame. So watch out this market very, very carefully. But before this one, I like to show you something on the H4 time frame. On the H4 time frame, we are expecting a lower noble semaphore. That's lower noble semaphore, exactly the same thing what we see on the daily time frame. The daily time frame requirement is a lower yellow, and on the H4 is a lower noble. Yeah, that's fine, and the market can actually move up a little bit and then retrace. So watch out on H4 time frame. This oil, when you find an entry for the shortening, that will be wonderful. I'm expecting some kind of shortening opportunity coming on Monday or Tuesday. Okay, that's the oil, and now let's go back to our other charts. After oil, we got a Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is quite interesting. We've been telling that the Bitcoin is actually reaching its current support area, and that's what's happened last week up here around $45,000. And then market start coming down, and it's dropped up to $5,000 over last week. It's actually not last week. It's basically the most of those coming down is over the on the Friday and Thursday. So if you go into the daily time frame, I'm expecting that market to retest, go upside a little bit, and then come down and retest around this area. From the my expectation of the Bitcoin to come closer to the 31,000 before it can go upside, or it can move in the bullish kind of divergence, or bullish trend. Sorry, not divergence. Look it up here on this trend lines. You can see on this trend line that market is actually falling here. So I'm expecting that it should do some retesting on this area and then come down again. So if this retest area failed up here, then those who are on the long position, they can exit their position, because we can expect prices to touch $36,000. So keep an eye on this one. Watch out, it's a weekend. Next week we see what's happened. That's the Bitcoin, and after the Bitcoin, our last pair is the EURUSD. On the EURUSD, from the weekly point of view, if you can see that the market was actually down over the last week. It's closing off the low, but there was some ease of movement with high volume activity. So I actually see this particular bar up here, the last week bar, which is with the high volume activity, narrow range compared with these two. I can see that some absorption happening here, and someone trying to tap the market to stop moving further down. So that's a good sign that market may have reached their bottom. But now let's have a look what we can see, what's going to happen next week. I can see some this selling offside or buying into right up here, so that may push market a little bit higher. But on the daily time frame, it's a little bit different suggestion. That's we need to do some kind of retest around here. So this is a high volume bar. The market move up, then come down, and then come down, and we can see that's our this bar yesterday, which is a Friday bar. On this one, it was a low volume bar. So, and with this ease of movement, I'm expecting market to come down next week. All right, so that's what was our oil view. But if you look at it in the 4-hour time frame, see what oil says. Oil, you can see that it's dropped down, and then it retests the area of our previous support, and then it's come down. So yes, expect market to come down. Now let's have a look what we can see from our trading point of view, for our trading system point of view. So EURUSD on the weekly time frame, we expecting market to come up around this area and then make an upper yellow semaphore, but highly likely that this will actually rebate. Okay, the market to actually make a previous low up here. If we can go into the daily time frame, the daily time frame is telling us that market want to come down or some kind of a retest up here before it can go up. So we can wait market. We can see the next week is actually a weak market. So that's all we have for this week on the euro side and euro USD and our key market analysis. Our next weekly market updates, which will be a live market update on 21st of February to 7:30 p.m. Sydney time on Zoom and on the YouTube. If you like to join us, the link is on the display. You can join us. You can also join our trading our K5 trading Discord server, where you can actually give the regular updates of the markets. Thanks very much.